Hello students, I am going to describe here the life history of an angiosperm plant. You can see the board, okay? It's a diagram showing the plant of mustard, that is an angiosperm. So first of all, before coming to the life cycle, we come to the general account of the angiosperm. Angiosperm come under division angiosperm under Phanerogam subkingdom, under Plantae kingdom. So it has 250,000 different species, which were considered to be the originated near about 135 million years ago. 135 million years ago, they came on this earth in the form of angiosperm. Before there were gymnosperm. And the general character, when we consider, as the name given as angiospermae, angiosperm, means they are cover seeded plant. Angiosperms are cover seeded plant. You can see here the general account. The plants are cover seeded plants, and they have a highly adapted for various climatic conditions. Okay, so they can live successfully in desert, in land area, in marshy area, even in ocean. Plant body is sporophyte. When you see the plant body, it is diploid because it is developed from the seed, and seed developed from embryo, from zygote, all are diploid. So plant body, the whole structure is diploid. Until I will not explain, you will consider every part is diploid. Then the plant body is sporophyte, diploid means sporophyte, and that bear root, stem, leaves, flower and fruit. Unlike the gymnosperm, they have no flowers, so it's a flowering plant and bear flowers as a reproductive organ. Now, the well developed, their vascular bundle is also specific because they have a vessels, okay, which was absent in gymnosperm. So we compare the angiosperm from gymnosperm. Wide range of sizes, you can see. Wolffia is the smallest angiosperm, the smallest, which size is in centimeter. Eucalyptus near about 100 meters is the tallest one. Zoastera live in shallow sea, and orchids found underground. So as I have earlier discussed that they grow in varieties of habitat and varieties of environmental condition. They provide, when we come to the economical importance, the very common, they provide food, powder, medicine, perfumes, rubber, paper, timber, gums, oxygen, etc. You can so easily economical importance of angiosperm you can describe. Now classes. It is, since it is a longer division, so the many members are there. So they have also various degree of variations. So they are described as monocotyledon, having one cotyledon in their seed, like the wheat seed you have seen, and dicotyledons, having two cotyledons as a seed leaves, like in gram you can consider. So name given as dicot and monocot. Single cotyledon in seed, two cotyledon seed. Comparatively you can compare monocot and dicot. Adventitious root or fibrous root. When you uproot the plant, you will see the adventitious root as well as the parallel venation. So here a tap root system. When you uproot the plant, you will get this type of tap root type of root. Then parallel venation in leaves. Here you can see this one is the parallel venation. Veins are parallel to each other. But in dicot, you see reticulate venation. So that is in reticulate venation. Flowers are trimerous. They are multiple of 3. Okay, when you see the flower, they are sepal petals are in multiple of 3. But here you can get the either tetramerous or pentamerous, multiple of 5 or multiple of 4. Their vascular bundle, when you do the cross section of their stem or root, their vascular bundles are found to be scattered. There is no any particular fashion. But here internally, when you cut the section of stem or root of dicotyledon, then you see that the vascular bundle, xylem phloems are arranged in a ring. They form a ring. So that is internal differences between the monocot and dicot. Example you can show, grasses families are there, sugar cane, maize, rice, paddy, all are what? They are monocotyledons. Dicotyledons, gram, mango, neem, other different type of plants are there, dicotyledons. So when come to the life cycle, we start the journey from the seed. When we seed is sown into the ground, it germinates into seedling, and seedling grows into, after passing the vegetative phase, it flowers, comes the flowering. Flower is the reproductive organ, bears both the sexes, maybe unisexual, maybe bisexual, but here is the flower is bisexual. So bearing both the structure, female part and male part. Female part is called carpel and male part is called stamen. So carpel bears ovary. Inside the ovary there is a megaspore mother cell which undergoes, all are diploid. This megaspore mother cell undergoes reduction division, and in stamen there is a anther. You can see in the stamen there is a anther, and in this anther there is a pollen mother cell, and that pollen mother cell, diploid pollen mother cell, undergoes reduction division to form pollen grain haploid, and here embryo sac. This embryo sac, you can roughly see this embryo sac, structure of this embryo sac. Here one egg is there, two synergy guard them, three antipodal cells are here, two polar nuclei fused together, and then fertilization taking place. Later on I'll discuss. So pollen grain, embryo sac, all are haploid. Pollination taking place at this stage. Embryo sac produces egg. Here the egg is produced by the embryo sac, which is enclosed in the ovule, and the egg of the embryo sac and the male gametes. Now trying to understand. When pollen grain germinate, this is a pollen grain having vegetative cell and generative cell. Generative cell develop to form two male gametes mitotically. So all are haploid. So haploid, two male gametes are produced. One male gamete fuses with the egg to form zygote, and other male gamete fuses with the already fused secondary nucleus. So fertilization is called here double. And since two polar nuclei are fused together, try to understand, and one male gamete fuses, the fusion is called triple. So the pleiady will be 3n, zygote will be 2n, primary endosperm nucleus, which is formed after the fertilization of polar nuclei with your secondary nucleus with the male gamete, so triple in nature, and rest synergids, antipodal and synergid cells are haploid. So in embryo sac you can see diploid, triploid as well as haploid. All these pleiades are there. You can able to answer the question. So zygote is formed altogether after fertilization, and this zygote developed to form the embryo, and from embryo the seed is formed, and seed again germinate to complete the life cycle. So in this way I think easily you can describe the life cycle of angiosperm, no problem. Okay, so thank you all.